Hi everyone, and welcome to the Vintage Company. I'm Julie and I'm a business historian. And today I'm taking a look back at the history of Lunchables. Oscar Mayer's pre-made lunch combination packs that were intended to change lunchtime forever. Now, who invented Lunchables isn't exactly clear from the sources. One version of the Lunchables origin story starts with Rhodey Hawkins, a recent college graduate trying to get a job at Oscar Mayer in the mid-1980s. At the time, Hawkins had a degree in meat science, but had only worked in academia. He had no experience in manufacturing processed meats. With his skills untested, Oscar Mayer decided to hire him for a 6-month trial. Hawkins later recalled, "I kept thinking I need to do something really good for Oscar Mayer in order to secure my position there." Hawkins' breakthrough came while attending a food technology conference in Dallas, Texas. There he met the vice president of industrial sales from Kraft Foods. The vice president showed Hawkins a package with crackers, spreadable cheese, and a red spatula. Kraft had dubbed this product Handy Snacks. According to Hawkins, the Kraft VP said, "You know, we're not the first company to launch cheese and crackers. But for the privilege of spreading your own cheese on your crackers, people are willing to pay 2 or 3 times more for our cheese and crackers." This planted a seed for Hawkins. He went back to Oscar Mayer and designed a tray and asked a packaging engineer to build a wooden prototype. He then filled the compartments of the wooden tray with crackers, small slices of ham and turkey, 2 different types of cheeses, and an Andes mint. Hawkins took the model to the marketing team, and about a month later, the marketing team had launched a new project using Hawkins' idea. This prototype tray with compartments for storing different types of food became known as Lunchables. In another version of the origin story, Oscar Mayer had a problem. Americans were falling out of love with bologna, one of the company's key products. As sales declined, Oscar Mayer put Bob Drain, the vice president of marketing and new product development, in charge of finding a solution. In 1985, Drain assembled a small team of 8 to 10 employees to look for new products. The team talked to consumers and learned that making lunch for themselves and their kids before work and school was becoming harder and harder to do. This growing group of consumers were, as one newspaper noted, quote, "too busy to cook, sit down in a restaurant, or even pick up a knife or fork." They wanted something that was both tasty and easy to make and carry. For these consumers, Drain's group developed a mobile lunch pack, consisting of sliced meats, cheese, and crackers. Because this mobile lunch needed to be refrigerated, Oscar Mayer's engineers designed a special tray with separate sealed compartments to keep the crackers from absorbing moisture and becoming soft. The packaging also had strategically placed windows to show off the food inside. The marketing team considered several possible names for the new lunch pack, including entrees, lunch kits, square meals, and snackables, but ultimately landed on Lunchables. These 2 origin stories are not necessarily competing with one another, but it's not clear how they fit together. Did Rhodey Hawkins bring the Lunchables concept to Oscar Mayer's marketing team, and then the company assigned Bob Drain to lead Lunchables development? Or was Hawkins part of Bob Drain's team? Or were the ideas completely independent of one another and then merged together at precisely the right moments? Whatever the answer, Oscar Mayer introduced Lunchables to test markets in the late 1980s. The first Lunchables came in 2 sizes, regular and deluxe. Regular Lunchables cost about $1.29 and had 8 slices of meat, 8 crackers, sliced cheese, and a napkin. Deluxe Lunchables cost $1.89 and had 2 kinds of meat, 2 types of crackers, 2 kinds of cheeses, a small container of mustard or dressing, a mint, and a napkin. When Lunchables first came out, they were essentially a new concept. And early ads proclaimed, "Lunch will never be the same." But Oscar Mayer was wading into unknown territory. The company had spent millions of dollars developing Lunchables and bringing it to market. But there was no guarantee Lunchables would be a success. And grocery store managers were not immediately sold on the lunch pack. As one recalled, "I'll admit that when I first saw the product, I thought, what's Oscar Mayer doing? Have they bought an airline? Lunchables to me looked like something they'd serve you on a plane. Despite heavy skepticism, Lunchables were soon flying off the shelves. At the time, a product might be lucky to make $15 million in annual sales. An exceptional brand might make $100 million. Lunchables made $218 million in its first 12 months. At first, Lunchables were marketed more towards busy working adults who wanted to pack a convenient lunch for themselves or their children. But with colorful packaging, finger foods that could be eaten in whatever way you wanted, and by 1989, dessert options like chocolate pudding, Lunchables had a strong appeal with kids. In contrast to an ordinary brown bag lunch, Lunchables were different and exciting. Oscar Mayer began tailoring Lunchables specifically to kids. Early advertising for Lunchables showed kids protesting eating the same thing day after day. These kids wanted something more fun. In 1993, Lunchable Fun Packs were introduced, adding a Kool-Aid cooler and candy like M&Ms and Reese's Peanut Butter Cups to the standard cheese, crackers, and turkey, ham, or bologna. According to Tim Coffer, senior brand manager for Lunchables, tying Lunchables to other well-known brands like Kool-Aid and M&Ms gave Lunchables taste credibility among young consumers. It also gave Kraft, the parent company of Oscar Mayer, another outlet for its other products like Capri Sun, Tang, Jell-O, and of course, Kraft cheese. And while Lunchables may have gotten their start as a way to sell Oscar Mayer bologna and other lunch meats, the brand soon branched out. In 1995, Lunchable pizzas were introduced, which featured 3 small crusts, sauce, and cheese that could be eaten with or without microwave heating. Lunchables pizzas not only brought one of the most popular foods for kids into the brand, but also gave kids the ability to make pizzas for themselves. Lunchables pizzas were hugely popular, with sales of $125 million in their first year. Their success prompted Lunchables to expand into pizza swirls, hot dogs, hamburgers, tacos, nachos, pancakes, and waffles. All of these options gave kids the freedom to choose what and how they wanted to eat, and, as ads emphasized, make lunchtime fun. By the late 1990s, Oscar Mayer had sold 1.6 billion Lunchables, and sales were increasing some 15% every year. And though Lunchables had its competitors, including Hillshire Farms' Lunch and Munch, the brand maintained control of a staggering 75% of the market. Lunchables were big business for Oscar Mayer, but not everyone was a fan. A long-running criticism of Lunchables has been their nutritional value, or rather, lack thereof. Originally, Lunchables did not include nutrition information on its packaging. Instead, you had to call an 800 number to find out. For dietitians and nutritionists, this was a red flag. Their suspicions were confirmed when it turned out Lunchables had 330 to 460 calories each, 19 to 33 grams of fat, and 1,350 milligrams to 1,980 milligrams of sodium, meaning that the lunch packs were high in fat and sodium and calorically dense for the amount of food that you were eating. As the Fort Worth Star-Telegram newspaper wrote in 1990, "Tasty quick Lunchables forgot to pack the nutrition." And in 1995, the Center for Science in the Public Interest listed Lunchables as one of their top 10 things you should never eat, with the center's co-founder Michael Jacobson stating, "It would be hard to invent a worse food." As for Oscar Mayer, a company spokesperson told newspapers in 2000, "The way we position Lunchables is they're a great way for busy parents to occasionally treat their children to their favorite foods." And according to company statistics at the time, that's how most families were using them, with most kids eating an average of 2 Lunchables a month. However, Oscar Mayer has attempted to address the criticism throughout the years by introducing reduced or low-fat varieties. The first of which were low-fat fun packs, which used lean cuts of turkey or ham, and reduced fat cheese. They also replaced the candy with a Jell-O dessert. And when Lunchables sales stagnated in the early 2000s amidst rising concerns over childhood obesity, Oscar Mayer introduced Fun Fuel Lunchables, which included 100% fruit juice and squeezable yogurt instead of a Capri Sun drink and candy. But sales for Fun Fuel Lunchables were weak and the line was ultimately dropped. The most successful of these revamped Lunchables came in the 2010s, when Oscar Mayer reformulated the product to cut calories, fat, and sodium and remove high fructose corn syrup from most of the line. The company also launched Lunchables with fruit cups and smoothies. According to Oscar Mayer, consumers responded positively to the change and sales increased 7%. However, much like its healthier predecessors, the fruit cups and smoothies were ultimately short-lived. As of the making of this video, there remains one Lunchables variety with 100% juice listed on Oscar Mayer's website. Ultimately, Lunchables' success lies in making fun, portable lunches with foods that kids like. On a more personal note, I was a child in the 90s, and my favorite Lunchables was pizza swirls. I always ate the chocolate and M&M's pizza first. As kids, we were only allowed to have Lunchables once a month, and it was a glorious day when I opened my lunch bag to find a Lunchables inside. Almost 50 million US consumers bought Lunchables in 2020. And though Lunchables has many competitors today, the brand continues to lead the pre-made lunch market. After more than 30 years, it seems that Lunchables is still making lunchtime fun. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this look back at Lunchables. If you like this video and would like to hear me talk about the history of other ordinary things, please consider giving this video a like and subscribing below. Thank you again, and I'll see you next time.